Hello, ladies and gentlemen, another Metal Lover Ben vlog for the Patreon followers and stuff. I don't know why, but I feel kind of weird sitting in my room talking to myself today. I usually don't, but I got a weird feeling today and I can't shake it. I'm very tired. But I'm here as always with my lovely co-host Pikachu's ass. I don't know if you can see him from this shot. He's over there behind me somewhere. Yeah, this is a very special, super fucking important vlog because this is our 1 year anniversary vlog. That's right. At the start of last month, it has been officially an entire year since I started my Patreon. And, yeah, it is fucking mind-blowing to me that we've come this far. I'm working with Minute Rice as my editor, XLtastic X as my resident in-house artist, I guess. So, yeah, I know I say this a lot, but I'm really honestly touched that you guys are willing to put up with my weird bullshit and support my writing. It really does mean a lot to me. I am legitimately tearing up, okay? Shut the fuck up. Don't judge me. Don't fucking judge me. So that's the good news. What's going on? Bad news. I'm sure you all have read the posts already. My mother is unwell, and I have been rather busy for the last week. Blazing Trinity did not get done. Second time I've not hit my goal for the month, and this time it's not my fault. Haha. So, yeah. Self-insert supports for the month are done. I'm sitting down to start working on self-insert Dark today. After that, I'll see how I'm feeling. I will see how I'm feeling as to whether or not I start working on Blazing Trinity again, or I just kind of hit fuck it and move on to the canon self-insert because it's so fucking easy to write. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Rest assured, there will be some form of major update this month. Okay, there will be a major chapter this month, I swear to God. If it fucking kills me, I will do it. But, yeah, so that's a thing. That's where we're at with the writing. Also, XLtastic X got sick last month, so there is going to be another piece of artwork for the A+ support tier. Unfortunately, he got sick, he couldn't get it done, and now he's working on the support artwork as well. So, yeah, hopefully we can get that done this month and maybe make some headway onto a piece, like another piece for this month. I don't know. This tier is still pretty experimental at this point in time. But, yeah. So that's a thing to look forward to, and it's kind of lewd. I've seen the line art for it. I don't want to share it and spoil it because, like, it's very... He's done a damn good job. Just in the last year, seeing his artwork, you know, get better as well as my writing, it's really cool that we've both improved like this. Even Minute Rice's editing has gotten good. Like, he's picking up a lot more of my little mistakes. Not a lot gets by him anymore. So, you know, we're all improving, and it's all thanks to you guys. So, fuck, okay, vlog stuff. I actually have some notes written down. I've got some questions from, you guys. As always, if you have a question, leave a comment, send me a PM. I will try to address it either in an update or, in the vlog itself. I wanted to talk a little bit about how cultural differences can work in fiction, and how that can come into play in my own work to a degree. I find that Fire Emblem seems to be very... Fuck, how do I pronounce this word? Homogeneous? You know, everything is kind of the same. Everybody speaks the same language. There's no real cultural differences, especially like in the earlier works in the series. So if you look at Yllis and Plegia, for example, you look at Tharja, and yes, she's a little bit creepy, but like culturally speaking, she really doesn't seem that different from the Elysians, you know? I've had to go through a lot in my own work, just kind of differentiating Elis and Plegia. I like to stylize Plegia as more of like a Middle Eastern kind of ancient Persia style culture, as opposed to the medieval Europe of Elis. It was actually done quite well with Three Houses. If you haven't played Three Houses yet, what the fuck is wrong with you? But also, I apologize for teeny, itty bitty minor spoilers. One of the characters, Petra, is actually from a neighboring country, not from Fodlan. And being from this country, Bridget, she actually comes from a different culture. She speaks a different language, and her whole shtick is that she's struggling to learn how to speak the Fodlan language. She's struggling to fit in with Fodlan society. So it's nice to see that this is actually being taken into consideration. You know what I mean? It's not something that tends to come up a lot. Usually it's addressed a lot more in novels as opposed to video games. Or if it's addressed in a video game, it's a major plot point. Otherwise, it's not really touched on that much. In something like Fire Emblem, I tend to feel like it could definitely benefit a lot more for having that kind of different cultures in the worlds. So imagine how different things would be if you had Valm, Plegia, and Elis as three totally different cultures. You know, it wouldn't just be, you know, we're fighting over bullshit. It would be, there's culture clash here as well. And I think that kind of detail gets overlooked a lot, especially in earlier entries in the series. And it's something that I'm trying to touch on a bit more in my work. So look forward to that, especially when we get to Valm in the self-insert, because there's a lot of little, you know, territories in Valm that I kind of want to play around with a little. And I did do it again to an extent in my Invisible Ties stories, where Valm had more of like a Roman feel. I made that extra country myself to give the shepherds some backup during the fighting. Shengshi, which I based on China. Obviously Chonsin is based on Japan. When I got to Future's End, I did kind of start stylizing Plegia more as that kind of Middle East, Persia sort of feel. I'm sorry, I'm very tired right now. But yeah, that's something that I like to touch on and I find interesting. If you look back at earlier entries in the series, like I said, cultural differences are really not that, you know, distinct. So yeah, it's an interesting thing that I picked up on and I wanted to just bring up. Because it's one of the things that Three Houses did right. And we'll get to Three Houses. I actually want to talk a little, or a lot, about a lot about Three Houses, because I had to take a break from this game so that I could talk about it. I want to say with eyes unclouded, but right now I am like cloudy as fuck because I'm so tired. But yeah, so we got a couple questions here today. When it comes to writing, are there characters I find easier to write? Yes. You'll get that with any writer. Characters that you are more familiar with that just kind of roll off your fingertips. If you look at my non-self-insert work, a lot of my characters, like my protagonists in particular, seem to follow the same sort of snarky, intelligent sort of characteristic. You know, they're sarcastic, but they've got a good heart. You know, look at Robin, look at Mark. To a lesser extent, look at Morgan in that little post Future's End draft that I posted last year. So yeah, like that sort of sarcastic kind of dick, but not 100% a dick character is very easy for me to write. I find it very similar to my own personality. It's fun. It's fun for me to write. It's easy for me to write. I understand it. Conversely, Lucina, because I'm so familiar with her at this point, I find her very easy to write. My style of Lucina, I've seen her done differently by other artists a lot of times. So, How to Be a Parent's Lucina, the story How to Be a Parent by, was that Elviron? Fuck, I can't remember. It's been so long since the Awakening fandom has had any updates. Yeah, How to Be a Parent had a very different style of Lucina. She was a lot more sheltered. She really played up that whole I don't know anything except for war sort of dynamic that she had going on. Again, Dane Namor did something similar to that. He kind of had the middle ground between my more worldly Lucina and the more sheltered Lucina. I like to think of her as a little more worldly because by the time she's introduced to the party in Awakening, you know, she's been in Yllis, however the fuck you pronounce it. Did we ever decide how to pronounce that? Yllis. Let's just go with Yllis. By the time Lucina joins the party in Awakening, you know, she's been around for like 2-3 years, okay? You know, she's not going to sit in a fucking cave with her fingers in her ears waiting for something to happen. You know, she's going to interact. She's going to learn basically how to be a person, and she's going to get a crash course on it, so she doesn't have much choice in the matter. But yeah, so those are characters that I'm kind of familiar with. Characters I find difficult, fucking Muriel. Muriel, if I had hair left, I would pull it out trying to write her, just because she's so intelligent. You know, she's so observant. Every little thing she notices, you know, and I don't know why I decided to write her that way. I just did, but it is a gigantic pain in the ass. Again, another character that we haven't decided how to pronounce. Pan? I don't know how to fuck. I've always pronounced her Pane. You know, give that fucking hard E flick. Yeah, Taguel Girl. I don't know fucking how to write her. She's a very dense character for me to write. Like, there's a lot that goes into her character. There's a lot that goes into her backstory. And trying to keep all that in mind while she's basically interacting with the people that butchered her own people is, like, it makes it hard to write her. But yeah, like any other writer, I find it difficult to write characters that I'm not overly familiar with, which is why I'm kind of having trouble with any Three Houses stuff, which I've just totally put on the back burner. Yeah. Surprisingly, when I wrote the last chapter of Blazing Trinity, I didn't have a lot of trouble writing Sane's perspective. I guess just because he's, you know, irreverent, he's fun, he's what I'm used to writing, so I didn't have a lot of trouble writing that. Why is the self-insert easier for me to write, and what makes the others more difficult? Self-insert is literally stream of consciousness, okay? I think it goes onto the paper, okay? And I don't have to try and shift it around and make it into third person. Self-insert is my thoughts. That's why it's so easy for me to write. Sometimes the self-insert supports, because they're not from my perspective, are a little bit more difficult, but, you know, they're so short it doesn't really make that much of a difference. But something like Blazing Trinity or Future's End, you know, they're actual stories. They're not about me. They're about these characters. And sometimes it can be difficult for me to get in the right headspace to write these characters. Future's End, especially at the moment where I'm at in the story, I'm at the fucking finale. It is hard to get into the desperation, the hopelessness that's going on in this world. Yeah, it makes it very difficult to write at this stage of the story. Blazing Trinity, not as hard. I just had a bad month this month, so I found it kind of hard to get into that headspace. I did make a fair bit of progress on it, though, so that's always good. Favorite moments from Fire Emblem as a whole. The Serenus Forest song from Path of Radiance, the first time I heard that, I had, like, tingles up and down my spine, you know? It blew my fucking mind. Spoiler warning for Blazing Sword. When Eliwood's father died, I wasn't expecting it. Like, it kinda... because I was still new to the series, the first time Eliwood's father died, it was just kind of like, whoa, this is heavy. What the fuck? I wasn't expecting this from a Nintendo game. So that was really cool. The first time I saw Alm throw his shield aside and, like, jump up and fucking, yeah, right into Duma, that was fucking, like, that was so fucking cool. So, yeah, those are some of my favorite moments. So, yeah, those are some questions that I got this month. Again, if you have any questions, PM me, comments, you know, I write them all down. I do, you know, put them into these vlogs because it's fun to talk about stuff. I like answering questions from you guys. I like interacting with you guys. Now, on to the meat. The Three Houses video review. Oh my god, this fucking game. This feels like what they were trying to go for with Fire Emblem Fates, honestly. Yeah, there's been a lot said about Fates, but whether you like it or not is totally irrelevant at this point. Fire Emblem Three Houses legitimately makes you feel bad for the other teams when you pick one. Like, if you play this game the wrong way, the body count is fucking astronomical. It made me feel so fucking bad the first time I played it because I recruited like 2 people. And yeah, you just cut a fucking bloody swath through these characters. It's a good game. So, artistically, it doesn't have, like, the characters don't have that same sort of pop that Yusuke Kozaki's characters did in Awakening and Fates. The man is a fucking genius when it comes to character designs, even if he does have a stocking fetish. A stocking and garter belt fetish. Seriously, check it out. Like, all his fucking lady characters have stockings and garter belts. That's not to say that the character's design is bad. It just... It doesn't... Like, I'm reluctant to use the same word again, but it just doesn't pop. It doesn't stick out the way that Awakening's character design did. At least for the first half of the game. And that does make sense because everybody's wearing the same fucking uniform. It's basically a school uniform. They're wearing school uniforms. Everybody looks kind of similar. Which makes class changing and getting these characters in different costumes, like, it makes it even more rewarding. Post-time skip character designs are all pretty interesting. I haven't seen them all so far. I've only played through like a route and a half, so I'm still getting there. But, yeah, so far what I've seen I do enjoy. The music in this game is fucking mind-blowing. I'm not even kidding. Like, the BGM is some of the best background music I've heard in any game in this series. Please tell me this is still recording. Okay, we're good. Sorry about that. I am paranoid. I don't want to have to do this all again. I'm already losing my voice. Yeah, the background music actually, especially later in the game, begins to incorporate more modern, you know, electronica and dubstep kind of music in the boss fight BGM, which I think is really cool. They really worked it in quite well. Like, it came out of nowhere the first time it happened to me, and I was just kind of like, whoa, holy shit! No, it was Nergal's theme from Blazing Blade all over again. Anybody who's played Blazing Blade and, like, fought Nergal will know his fucking background music is the shit. Okay, it is insane. But, yeah. Gameplay-wise, it's a Fire Emblem game. There's a lot of little itty-bitty tweaks and changes that they've made to the formula. Some more apparent than others. There's no weapon triangle anymore, so they kept that from Echoes, Shadows of Valentia, which was also a great game. The addition of the... fuck, what are they called? The squads that go with you. Oh god, this is gonna drive me nuts. Fuck it, I don't care. You can hire little squads to go with your characters, so every character basically has a squad, and they do special squad attacks or special squad abilities. They increase your stats. I found myself not using them all that much, but it definitely did make the battle scenes a lot more interesting because you've got, like, the entire squad around you. It's not just your one fucking character. It really did make the battlefields feel a lot more populated and did really make the war feel a lot, you know, heavier. Fuck, what else can I say about it? Edelgard is best girl. I will fight fucking anybody that says otherwise. Hashtag Edelgard did nothing wrong. I apologize if anybody's watching this and they haven't actually played the game yet. I should have probably, like, started with spoilers. But, The route progression I find is, I don't know, like, I started with the Black Eagle route, which really should not be played first. From everything I've seen, you really should do it Blue Lions, Black Eagles, Golden Deer, and then the fourth route, the church route. I already said spoiler warning, fuck off. So, yeah, I kind of jumped the gun a little bit on there. Because most of the other routes kind of situate the character Edelgard, the Lord from the Black Eagles, as the kind of pseudo-villain. Like, you understand what she's doing, and, you know, you kind of want to talk her out of it, but all these characters have suffered so fucking much. Like, she's just straight up true to her ideals. And fighting her on the Blue Lions route after playing the Black Eagles route, it's fucking hard. Like, you don't want to do it. I had to stop a few times because I was just like, I don't want to fucking do this, man. I can't do this. It hurts. So, yeah. Honestly, I feel like this game is the breath of fresh air that the series needed. I feel like it definitely does elevate the series to the same heights as, like, Final Fantasy and the Megami Tensei games. Like, this is the big one. This is the important one. And being on the ground floor of this, watching it all kind of unfold, watching the fandom kind of embrace it, I guess, is, like, it's really cool. It's really interesting to see, because, I don't know, when Fates and Awakening came out, I was too busy, like, trying to pander to the fandom and write fanfiction for them. And when Echoes came out, I was kind of burned out on Fire Emblem, so I really wasn't paying too much attention to the series. But seeing how, like, all of the fan artists and other fanfiction writers are jumping on Three Houses, it's really quite gratifying, and it really does make me happy to be a part of this fandom. So, yeah, I would give the game a solid 9 out of 10, so if you have a Switch, definitely look into getting it. It is worth the fucking money. So, yeah, Three Houses was fucking amazeballs. That's my tired, rambling review for Fire Emblem Three Houses. 9 bens out of 10. So, yeah, work story. Not quite as insane as people fucking in the gardens and shit like that, like I usually get, but, I kind of have this, like, rivalry going on with the Chinese restaurant that is in the complex. Their staff are very rude and arrogant, and they annoy the fuck out of me. And I annoy the fuck out of them, too. Like, I chase them out of the bathrooms, I make the floors really fucking wet so they fall over on the bastard things, because, fuck those guys. Because after work, like, once the restaurant closes, they will hang around for, like, 2 or 3 hours and just get shit-faced. You know, they will just get fucking drunk off their asses. And I have to clean these bathrooms, and they will come in, they will throw up all over them, they will piss all over the floors. You know, I have a small window of time I can go in there and I can clean these bathrooms, because a lot of my job is time sensitive. So, yeah, we don't get along. And, last week on Thursday night, when I was, you know, going in to do my usual thing, I was walking by the restaurant and it's closed, but the restaurant is open, you know, so, you know, the bar is still open, and you can see the restaurant, you can see everything going on in the restaurant. So yeah, the restaurant is like open plan. All you do is walk up a set of stairs and you're in this restaurant, and you can see all these staff kind of dicking around in there. And on Thursday, for the first time in my life, I had seen beer pong set up. These fucking staff, while the bar is still open, while we've still got shit tons of customers hanging around, are playing beer pong in their uniforms in the restaurant. And this is actually the first time I've seen beer pong played in real life, you know? Mostly because when we were drinking, you know, we would get really drunk before we decided, hey, let's play beer pong. Oh, we're all too drunk to go and drive and play and pick up ping pong balls. Oh, well, next time maybe. So yeah, first time in my life I've ever seen beer pong being played. It's by the Chinese staff of this restaurant. It's like not even played by white guys. Like, that's kind of what you expect when you think about beer pong, you know, frat boys, like backwards hats and shit like that. But no, it was the Chinese staff of this restaurant. And I'm walking by and I'm looking at them and they're doing like vodka shots while they're setting up. And they notice me looking at them and I'm walking by and I'm like, and they're just like looking at me like, what? Do something about it. So it was just fucking bizarre. I didn't know what to fucking do. I was just kind of like, I don't even fucking care. Just don't throw up in my bathroom again. Oh, also, public service warning. Don't throw up in a fucking urinal, okay? A urinal is not meant to take solids. That puke has nowhere to go. So don't fucking throw up in there. Because some poor schmuck like me gonna have to dig it out with his hands. So yeah, that's my work story for the month. It was kind of a slow month. I apologize. So yeah, that's me done for another month. You know, I'm fucking brain dead right now. I apologize. I've got to stop doing these things when I'm so fucking tired. But, yeah, another self-insert month this month. Look forward to that. Hopefully I can get Blazing Trinity done as well. If not, I swear to Christ, I will get it done. Wait, what month are we in? September? October. I swear to God, if I don't get it done this month, I will get it done in October, okay? I'll probably get it done in, like, the first 2 weeks of October. And then hopefully I can get another chapter of Future's End done before the end of the year. Because that would be nice. It would be nice to be done with this fucking story already. So, yeah, that's really all I got to say this month. Again, like, 1 year. 1 year anniversary. Totally forgot about it. Thank you all for supporting me for so long. And, yeah, I don't have the words. Like, it means that much to me. Thank you so much. Look forward to more self-insert. Actually, right, I was a guest star on another episode of the Bitcast. I will put a link to it beneath this video, so look forward to that. And shit, yeah, I'll put a link to the Path of Radiance Let's Play that we finally started uploading as well, and y'all can watch that. I swear it gets funnier as it goes on. The Path of Radiance Let's Play was good because as it goes on, you can see us kind of slowly get over it. And come the end of the game, like, as you get towards the end of the game, we slowly become more irreverent and more stupid. And we stop taking it seriously. And it was a lot of fun, but it was also a lot of work. And Path of Radiance is one of those games you cannot play in drips and drabs like we did. So, yeah. But anyway, I'll put links to those in the description down below. Thank you again for another month of support, guys. Really means a lot to me. We've hit the last big goal I had. I don't have anything after this. Like, I've got nothing. So, yeah, everything at this point is just fucking gravy. You're the best. Thank you very much, guys. Naga Speed, and I wish you all the best.